Now, unfortunately, not every pharmacy is created equal. Let me show you an example of another pharmacy, how they handled a similar situation.
Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to become part of the Transplant Helper community.
I want to ask you a question. Do you see any difference at all in these two bottles right in front of you? Look closely. I see that they both happen to be from the same pharmacy, UAB Specialty Pharmacy. I see that they both happen to have the same prescription number. They're obviously both medications that have been provided for myself, James E. Merle. They're actually both labeled tacrolimus, and if you look closely, they happen to both be for exactly the same dosage of 1 milligram. But to tell you the truth, there is a huge difference between these two medications. One of them is a medication I've taken for a long time. Matter of fact, one of them I've taken for approximately 7 years. My Prograf levels, aka tacrolimus, have always been spot on. We've never had to make any changes. The other bottle, however, I doubt that can happen. Let me explain myself. You see, the medications you saw right there on the desk just a moment ago were medications that I had been receiving for 7 years from my favorite, most reliable, most trusted pharmacy, UAB Specialty Pharmacy. And on the surface, like you probably looking at those just a moment ago, would have thought absolutely nothing of them. I didn't, and I probably wouldn't. However, thankfully, my pharmacy not only sent those medications out, they sent them along with this letter I hold in my hand. I doubt you can see that very well, but I'll read what it says to you. It says, "Dear transplant patient, the UAB Specialty Pharmacy that supplies your transplant medications works very closely with us to prepare and manage inventory challenges. They have let us know that because of the limited supply of tacrolimus, you are receiving a medication from a different company this month." Now, some of you might think that is no big deal. I've done videos in the past about that. You need to watch out if that ever happens. They add to that, to help us measure how this new tacrolimus is working in your body, we ask that you get your labs drawn at your local laboratory based on the schedule shown below by the type of transplant you have received. For kidney, get new labs drawn after 2 weeks of starting this medication. For liver, get new labs drawn after 1 week after you start this medication and call your care team. For heart, get new labs drawn after 1 week after starting this medication and call your care team. For lungs, get new labs drawn after 3 days after you start this medication and call your care team. Now, I am extremely grateful. I'm thankful that UAB was willing not just to send out my medication, but more especially to send out a note like that. Because if you're dealing with a pharmacist who is willing to change your medications, change the manufacturer, change anything about what you've been doing in the past without warning you, you need to keep looking. You need to find another pharmacy. But I'm thankful for the fact that they didn't do that. I'm thankful for UAB Specialty Pharmacy and UAB Medicine transplant team. I had the foresight and the knowledge and the wisdom and basically the caring, loving compassion to send me this note. Now, unfortunately, not every pharmacy is created equal. Let me show you an example of another pharmacy, how they handled a similar situation. The pills you see in front of these two bottles are a medication called microphenolate or Myfortic. I received these about 2 months ago from yet another pharmacy, one by the way who I didn't trust, Briova RX, also known as Optum RX. They sent me an entire bottle of medications that look like this. Now, although if you look up the codes on both of these pills, you'll see both of them are 180 milligram microphenolate, Myfortics. But if you look at them closely, you'll see clearly there's something different. Obviously, these 3 pills right here, 1, 2, 3, are somehow different from all the rest. They're a much lighter green color. They're not quite as identifiable as Myfortic. And that's because of the same reason of before from UAB. They're from very different manufacturers. Matter of fact, one of them is from a manufacturer, the darker green one's from a manufacturer that I trust a lot, that I've always trusted to provide my medications. The lighter green color, however, is from one I do not trust. But the difference between what UAB Specialty Pharmacy did right here and in the letter, and the difference between what Optum Rx did right here and in their bottle to mix these pills are day and night apart. Optum Rx gave me no warning, no pamphlet, no notification. They simply not only changed manufacturers, they mixed them into the same bottle. And so let me say this clearly. I would warn you from using Optum Rx mail order pharmacy, number one. I'd steer clear of that. I would warn you from using any pharmacy that is willing to change your manufacturer, your medication, without warning, without notification. It's serious and it could cost you your life. Heads up when you get your new medication, folks.